Hello YouTubers, my name is Zach Spector and this is the most annoying kill streak I've ever gone on. Playing the 2014 Beeping Simulator. That's any Naval Strike rush map and the attack boat. In that combination, these maps are wide open and there's very few spots to break line of sight. One of the things required to lose a javelin lock. How else do you lose a javelin lock? Hope he gets shot in the face or you shoot him in the face while it's in the air. The problem with the javelin on these wide open maps, and there's no place to hide, is that the first one critically disables you. It'll stick you right where you're at and you simply cannot move. Most of the time, you're limited to a snail's crawl, and that lasts 6 or 7 seconds. Well, if you're not behind protection, if you haven't broken the line of sight, more than likely somebody else is going to be javelin locking you, a second one's going to be on the way, and that's going to be massive damage. Hats off to my team, my repair person who kept me alive, a very friendly random in the server. If you get lucky enough, APS will block it if it's a side shot or if you rotate your boat to the front. And when I'm critically disabled like that, the immobilization that you see flashing up, I can't even rotate the boat to minimize the damage and hopefully mitigate it while popping APS and trying to get back into cover. I actually started using my attack boat like a tank. Became a beach lover, if you will. This beach is nice. Might as well put up shop right here, get a couple beers out, maybe a cabana of sorts, and enjoy the sun. So I'd peek out, and I'd instantly start reversing. Because again, that first javelin you hit as you start taking damage, it will absolutely stock your attack boat in tracks. So I'm doing my best to not overexpose, as you see the flying paper airplane, which is a critical damage. So I will absolutely eat this, but I timed the APS perfectly. Now, the APS will not stop the UCAV, but if you point your boat forward, the APS will more than likely stop 1 or 2 javelins coming in. And here I'm trying to reload quickly and find the javelin user. Too little, too late. Certain points in this video where I'm getting close enough to the beach, I actually get double reps. And this is how bad this entire round was. People will say, why didn't you keep going in the wide open ocean, the beautiful sea? Well, guess what? Then you really are a sitting duck. As you see a little bit of that double rep action, we actually survived that. They actually switched to laws and some RPGs, which of course hit harder based on the angle that the RPG hits, and trying to support the infantry as much as possible. Took a risk moving up. All you see is smoke trails in the air. That's how much javelin spam that there is. And there's a nice, well-placed small or RPG right there, and more than likely a UCAV in the front, and a little more love in the back as the body goes flying. That's what you get, you filthy javelin chain spammers. I was laughing. I actually muted my comms for this because I'm laughing along with my repair person, who you can hear in the background saying, "Are you kidding me?" Because it just can't stop, won't stop, didn't stop, all day, every day. That is literally how this round went. If I would have played this any differently than a tank, we'd have died 8 million times because we have been in the open water, and of course, fresh meat for an RPG. If an attack boat isn't moving at all, that's a free shot for an RPG no matter how far you are. So it's damned if I do, damned if I don't, and try to check the mini-map, zooming out to clean up all these guys. Pick off Tim, and then his twin brother, Terrence, who are sniping on the backside of the map, and try to make a nice little line, but not sit in the open. Try to keep my boat in motion, trying to keep in mind where the cover is and where the angle is. Right here, you've got 2 angles to worry about. If my infantry don't hold this island, I have to worry about this island. And there's usually campers up on top, snipers from the other team. This is their spawn back here. It's a good thing and a bad thing. If you kill them while they're going by, you weed out what's getting to the MCOMs, helping your infantry out. But again, this is their spawn. And when they clump up, it does you a favor. Have to reload there, because that splash damage builds off the players. Another thing is keep the attack boat moving to help your repair person and the other guys on the guns on the back. If you're sitting still, there's no waves like Parasol Storm. When that storm kicks up, that's an easy shot. Now, here's the problem when using TV missiles. They do 80 damage to the rib, but you also can't move your boat when that's happening. And there's another critical damage. But this one I can kind of crawl around. It's not that immobilization that you see. Low power is okay. You're still screwed. You can't go full power, but you can do the snail's crawl. And that right there is the small or RPG variety. Changing my line. Something that you might notice in this entire video, I'm trying to support the infantry, take away flanks from the enemy, because I couldn't do anything else. If I would have pushed balls to the wall up a side, I would have been dead instantly. 1 repair guy, let alone 2, if I'm on the beach enjoying a couple beers, is simply not enough. So here you see more of that pillar action, trying to pay attention to my mini-map, and there you see me turning into the javelin perfectly. The APS will stop that every single time. Now, I usually save the APS as I get hit with another wonderful flying paper airplane, killing almost everybody but my repair person. Is that you can block multiple javelins, and I'll save that APS if I see 2 or 3 people looking at me. If it's a single javelin user and I'm close enough, I don't think it's going to really hurt me that bad. I'll have that, not immobilization, but critical damage, and I can still kind of creep back to my cover. So here you see more RPGs, straws, smalls coming at my way. So it's one of those things where you get the MCOM, you support the infantry, you push up with the infantry, but don't overextend yourself. Just like a good piece of armor, a tank or an LAV. If you overextend yourself, you're more than likely splitting defenders on both sides. That's too much of an angle to worry about. You're absolutely going to get tore up from the floor up. So here's some nice sniping with the 25s, basically. The reason why I use the 25s is they do a ton of damage to infantry, they don't have a lot of drop, and they do massive damage to vehicles still. It's a nice combination with the TV missiles. Could I have used Zunis on this? Absolutely. It would have given me another threat while I was reloading my primary with infantry, but again, this hits for 80 on the ribs, which of course if they steal them, you want to get them down, and this peak was just a little bit too long as I get one last kill. So here we try to switch. Usually when I try to switch sides, I'll bust out full speed as a straw barely goes over my head, because if I get hit, I might glide back under cover, just like this right here. Checking my angle, I actually slow down, trying to milk a couple more kills, help the infantry that are pushing that side, and I kind of stay here. But usually I'll just get full glide and just go. That way if I do get hit, I'll be okay. And there is a pile of bad guys. So this is going to be all that she wrote. There's actually going to be a parachuting javelin that's going to be coming on my head that I kill, but it's simply too late. And that's another video for another day. Talking about using javelins while parachuting really ties up obliteration, because where's all the action? The middle of the map. Where are the parachute points? The middle of the map. Hope you guys enjoyed the most annoying kill streak ever in Battlefield 4. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Parachuter down. Too many. Nice, Ron.
Yeah, I think if you guys made it their life mission to take that boat out.
It's just not stop beeping?